Oh yeah. Transformers: Dark of the Moon. I've been reviewing Transformers movies for the past 2 days, and it's time to complete the trilogy with Dark of the Moon. Well, back when the first teaser trailer for this movie was released, I did not care at all because at that point I had not really watched the movie, so I still didn't really care about the franchise. Looking back, it still wasn't that great of a trailer because it was just them on the moon and finding all the bots. Then the second trailer came out, and I was watching it. I was sort of getting into it. Mind you, this was still before I watched the other two movies. And there was one particular scene in the trailer. This, like, 5-second clip that just won me over. Don't ask me why, I just thought Optimus kicking ass was awesome. It just reminded me of the TV show and how much I used to love watching it. So I really just started getting into the movie and started actually wanting to see it. And here we are. I'm gonna come right out and say this movie is much better than Revenge of the Fallen. Once again, we're in the dreaded acting field for this type of movie, and for the last time, I really hope there's not Transformers 4, there really shouldn't be. Acting in this series you really shouldn't look too much into, because this movie is not made for Oscar-winning acting. It's made for action scenes, robots beating the crap out of each other, and beautiful scenery. Shia LaBeouf, he's good in the role. He's not overacting anymore. He knows how to draw emotions from his character, and you really start feeling for him throughout the movie. The girl who replaced Megan Fox, Rosie something or other, she was actually pretty good. I didn't expect her to be great. I expected her to be worse than Megan Fox, but she turned out pretty good. She's like not great, not bad, just like near in the middle. It's her first performance, give her a break. And then everyone else returns: John Turturro, Josh Duhamel, Tyrese Gibson, all the voices for the Autobots and Decepticons, and Sentinel Prime, who's like another one of Optimus's brothers or something. He was his mentor. Once again with the Transformers series, it's just wonderful CGI. Everything looks like it's right there. I feel like I'm getting redundant at this point because I say the same thing about the acting, I say the same thing about the CGI. Not supposed to be great acting, and it's phenomenal CGI. It's the same right there. But the action in this movie elevates it to a new height. The second movie didn't have too much action, which I didn't like, and the first movie had great action, but this movie just had absolute breathtaking action. I mean, last hour of the movie, I was just sitting there, laying back in my chair, enjoying myself, because this was one of the best put together action sequences I have ever seen. And the 3D in the movie, it was filmed in 3D. I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first movie that's 3D that came out this year that was actually filmed in 3D. That's not post-converted 3D. And the 3D looks great. It's not that it's really popping at you, but you just see everything so much clearer and so much nicer. And I thank Michael Bay for sending a letter to the projectionist about making the light bulbs brighter in the projectors, because that really helped and just made everything more clear. Speaking of Michael Bay, I used to give him a lot of crap for being a bad director because it was like explosion, explosion, Megan Fox, explosion, Megan Fox, explosion, Optimus, explosion. He might not know how to do comedy well. He might not know how to do characterization that well. But he sure as hell knows how to direct action, and he proves it right here. You can't deny that the action was amazing in this movie. I mean, there's just no argument against it. Remember the character in the trailer, Shockwave? Yeah, him. He was only in a few scenes of the movie, which kind of disappointed me, because he looked like a badass character in the trailer, and he just wasn't in it too much. That was just a little bit disappointing. And the comedy, while I laughed at most of it, Ken Jeong was in this movie. I'm beginning to hate Ken Jeong, because ever since The Hangover, he has not been funny to me anymore. It's just, he's Almost like Kristen Wiig, over the top, annoying, and just flat out stupid. I'm glad his character got killed off. Spoiler. And the parents, one thing I forgot to mention, the parents, I said in the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen review, if they were in this movie that they would be horrible. They weren't that bad. Like, they were in like 2 scenes. First scene, they were fine, I laughed. And the second scene, it got a bit annoying, but I tolerated it because it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Transformers Dark of the Moon is a great way to end this trilogy and this series. And it deserves 2 large popcorns. I mean, it's just a great movie. You should go see it. I'm going to try and see it in IMAX 3D because I want to know what it's like. I just got to see it in 3D. Definitely try and see it in 3D. IMAX if you can, because I hear the IMAX is great too. I feel like I'm giving away my best rating a lot lately. It's been great movies.